This is Jim, and that is Warren, and you are watching Talking Vintage Vendor Corner. This is our new show that you can only see here on YouTube. So if you're watching this, please take the opportunity to like and subscribe to our channel and continue to watch our shows. This is show number 7, by the way. What is Talking Vintage Vendor Corner? It's a show for vendors like us at a vintage shop like Decades Reclaimed Vintage Depot, who we are brought to you by, located at 502 West Brennan Road, Lakeland, Florida, 33813. Big shout out to Decades for sponsoring our show, Talking Vintage Vendor Corner. Okay, but again, it's for you guys that are a vendor or thinking about being a vendor to learn more about what we do here at Decades Reclaimed Vintage Depot. We're not the end all or know all for anything, really. But yeah, so if you're a vendor at a shop, check it out. Okay. I know, man. Wow. I can't sing. All right. So really, our show is basic. We go on, we say who we are, what we're doing here, and then we go into today's topic. And today's topic is a tale of two vendors. Oh. Okay, a tale of two vendors. And let me start out, okay, by comparing the two vendors, okay? Vendor A and vendor B. All right? And these are real. I didn't make this up. Right. All this is real. I took two vendors here in our shop and I compared them. Vendor A and vendor B both have been in the game for a while, okay? There's no real difference there. Both do it as a hobby and both have regular gigs, to make their money, okay? Let's see. Both refresh, reset, and move stuff around the same, about 1, maybe 2 hours a week. Okay, so right now they're parallel. They're on the same page. They're doing the same stuff. Vendor A has a broader selection of items that cover a wide variety of vintage and antique stuff. Vendor B leans more to farmhouse and a few other items. So they differ a little bit there. Vendor A has a broader selection, more stuff, more variety of stuff.
Yeah, there you go.
Vendor B is kind of narrow, almost not niche. I won't say they were in a niche. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. They're not like me with gas and oil. They're not, but they're limited. All right. Vendor A prices their items to capture the value, tries to get the top dollar, does not like to put things on sale, and does not discount. Let's stop right there and talk about that for a second. We have sales throughout the shop on occasion that vendors can participate in them. Vendor A doesn't participate in them. We don't do this as a rule, but if a customer wants us to reach out to the vendor, we could do a whole show on that whole thing. We will do it on occasion. We won't do it for vendor A because they're never going to give a discount. And then vendor B is pretty much easy about it. We can almost make up our own discount. Mm-hmm. So I'm just putting that out there. Okay, moving on. But vendor B wants to sell, so they're fair pricing. They're open to the discounts. I think I already said that. I should have read the whole paragraph before I interjected. Now that we have a picture of what they're both are like, let's look at how they do. Okay, so they're pretty much similar. A is not going to discount. B is more likely going to discount. So vendor A, their sales in a given month are $1,000, and I round it up just to make it easy. Their rent is $200. Their fees are $20. Their percentage that they pay to the shop is $120. So they walk out of the door with a check for $660. Okay. Vendor B, okay, has half the sales, but only has half the space. Still has the same fees, still has the same percentage. They did $500 in sales. Take out the $100 in rent, the $20 in fees, and the percentage is $60. Their total walking out the door is $320. So you're thinking vendor A is better than vendor B, right?
Money, yeah,
right?
Money's good.
Yeah. Let's turn the page. Okay. So you've got your $660 check over there. Mm-hmm. I've got my $320 check over here. We're the same. You're winning. Okay. You're a better vendor than I am. But wait, that's not all. Okay. Warren's more successful, right? Wait. Maybe he is, maybe he's not. Let's look at how they purchase. Vendor A purchases at auctions in estate sale. Their cost run about 50% of the item they sell. So you buy it, you sell it for 10, it's going to cost you how much? It costs you $5.
Right.
Okay. And then if you bought it for 100, you're going to sell it for 50. Got it?
I hope so.
80, 40, 50%. We can do the math pretty easy on that. Vendor B is a bargain hunter. Shops at yard sales. Okay? Buy it if they can't get it for the price they think they want it for. Gonna walk away. Yeah. Not even won't pay up. Not even $1. Rarely will they pay up. Vendor B rarely pays up. So their cost, it's really a girl. Her cost run. It's not me. And it's not him. He's not vendor A. Even though he does purchase it at estate sales. But anyways, vendor B runs at a cost of 20%. 20%. My rule of thumb is 30%. I try to do it in thirds. You know what I mean? This is true numbers. Their cost is 20%. 20%. I was shocked when I did the math on that. So if they're buying an item for $2, they're selling it for 10. $5, they're selling it for $25. Okay?
That's pretty good.
Now that we know that, let's look at how they both really did this month. Okay. Vendor A, they're $660. Okay, 50% cost. They walked out of the door with $330. Really, that's what they made. Vendor B, who had the $320 total after everything was over, walked out with $256. So they're really pretty close. $330 for vendor A, $256 for vendor B. Okay.
Okay.
So again, vendor A is the winner, right?
Right.
Right. Okay, remember now, vendor A has twice the space. What if vendor B had the same space? Yeah, it'll make them more successful. Okay, but the bottom line is here, with both of them, if you boil it down, it's not, well, I guess it is kind of what you sell the item for, but it's really what you pay for it. Vendor B is buying at 50% and then waiting for top dollar. Vendor A is buying at 50% and waiting for top dollar. Vendor B is buying at 20%, is open to deals or whatever. So their volume of sales is a little bit higher. So, both are successful in my eyes. But you can't just, the check that walks out at the end of the day that they walk out with, you can't go, oh, they made twice as much money I did. They spent twice as much money as you did. So it's relatively close. So bottom line is, if you're a vendor out there, the first thing, it's the first step, it's the first thing you do when you go to selling an item is purchasing the item. You got to be cautious. In my opinion, I don't go to estate sales because even at 50% off, I want to be at 30%. Mine's at 30%, 33 really. I deal in thirds. I want to pay a third for it. And then it costs me a third to sell it, the cost of the rent and everything else, that's that third. And then I want to make a third. So I'm not really trying to double up my money or anything like that. Well, I guess I am trying to triple up my money or whatever. But when people try to sell me stuff all the time, I flat out tell them I deal in thirds. It's a $100 item. I'm going to pay you $33 for it. It's going to cost me $33 to sell it, and I'm going to make $33. What's your advantage to selling to me? You get your money today. I have to wait for my money. It may take years in order for me to sell it all to get my money back. And during that time, I'm losing that other third. That's where that goes. If I quick sell something, then again, I'm making a little bit more. Sometimes, yeah. If I get it today and sell it tomorrow, I can make 2/3. So, but I still not 2/3 because I still lose the percentage to the shop and I still have my fees and stuff like that. So that's it. That's our show for tonight. Talking Vintage Vendor Corner. Do you have anything to add?
No, I think you need to buy right too.
Yeah, buy
You know,
right. That's it.
you know.
It's the start of everything. If you buy wrong, it's hard to sell at a higher price to make up for the mistake that you already made. So buy right. Have a system. Do it. If you're going to do it in quarters, you're going to do it in halves. That's fine. If you're good with halves, there's nothing wrong with that. Buying at 50%, there's nothing wrong with that. You double your money, but you do have to take into fact of all the different things that go into that. You know, if you're doing it for a hobby, at the end of the day, making any kind of money is a plus. You know, if you're doing it to support yourself and your family, then you're probably more cautious on how you buy.
That's a tough gig doing that.
Oh yeah. We have a few vendors that do that though.
Yeah.
So and they're successful, but they buy low and sell. Well, I won't say sell high, because I'm thinking of Lori, and she buys low, and she sells moderately. She's priced to sell.
Yeah,
she
she
wants
is.
it down the road, is what we say here at Decades Reclaimed Vintage Depot. If I call Warren up, and he's got a train set, and he's got it for $50, and the guy's offering him 30, and he's had it for a while, he won't even say yes. He'll say, just get it down the road.
Sell.
Yeah, sell. Get it down the road. Get it gone. You know, it takes his $30 back. Hopefully he didn't pay $30 for it. But even if he did, he gets his money back. He can go on and move on to the next thing, which is something Warren is trying to learn. Moving on. 45s. You haven't got rid of them yet,
Not
have
yet.
you?
I got them.
They're making you lots of money in storage.
They are not.
They are.
They are not.
They're not. You're right. They're not. You got to get rid of them. You got to put them up.
I know.
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah. He's learning.
I'm learning.
He's learning.
I'm a slow learner.
He should watch the show. You should be like watching the show.
I do.
And you should take notes.
I should.
You should take
I got
notes.
a notebook somewhere.
Okay, we got to stop this. I'm Jim. That's Warren. You've been watching Talking Vintage Corner. No, Vendor Corner, brought to you by Decades Reclaimed Vintage Depot. Decades is relocated at 502 West Brendan Road, Lakeland, Florida, 33813. We will see you 2 weeks from tonight at the same time, every other Sunday at 8 p.m. Join us for Talking Vintage Vendor Corner.
And
You can
subscribe.
check out the regular Talking Vintage show. All of them are up. Dang, it's got to be close to 100 now that are up on YouTube.
Yeah.
But check them out. They're quicker, less painless. Yeah, but we appreciate it,
We're a
guys.
little funnier too.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. Yeah. Like and share if you don't mind, please, and have a great night.